The puzzle pieces finally start to fall into place as we head into our penultimate round robin matchup and our final subscriber series clash of the regular season. These sides all fighting for a top 4 place, and tonight the Guardians of the Crib will be taking on the All Flakes to find out just where they might end. Hello everyone and welcome back along to your home of rugby in the subscriber series, the Global Rugby Challenge, where you guys take on the world's elite in club rugby. Today, as we just said, it is the Guardians of the Crib taking on the All Flakes, and yes, there's 4 teams at the top of the table and they are fighting for the top 4 places. This is the last chance to impress for these two sides, as the next time you'll see them will be in the playoffs. Regardless of what happens today, these two sides will be featuring in the top 6 places. How high up the ladder they go, however, will be much dependent on how tonight's fixture goes throughout the next 80 minutes. The Guardians of the Crib will be at home. Twickenham is the place, and this is going to be a huge clash as well. They'll be missing Don Butler for this fixture, who is out with a red card suspension following the last match against the Celtic Dragons, but apart from that, it is a fully fit side who are on a fairly good run of form. Some may say none more so than their last match up in round 10, which was an emphatic 21-3 thrashing of the Celtic Dragons themselves. The round before that, they struggled somewhat to put away the Lions, 17 points to 14. Regardless of all this, they sit 4th in the table with an 8-win, 1 draw, 1 loss record. Still up there with the best. The bonus points letting them down, and the fact is they are struggling to keep pace with that top team on the ladder at the moment. They'll be looking for a big victory here, backing up with 2 big subscriber clash wins, and they've named a team that is good enough to get this job done. Based on last week, they've gone with minimal changes throughout this team. In the front row, starting things off with the loose head side, will be Luke de Normanville, Captain Mike Hunt, and Isaac Fishure at 1, 2 and 3. Into the second row, Liam Hacker will partner Rodrigo Martins. Into the back row, it's Oliver Bowers alongside Alfonso Gill, and Kieran Jones will once again line up at number 8. Into the back line is Sid Dangerous, Daniel Fishure starting at scrum half, and he will partner Lewis Gardner in the number 10 jumper. Remember, no Don Butler here tonight, so Lewis takes the reins at number 10. Into the midfield is a dangerous and aggressive one as well. Sam Stubbs will start at inside centre with the exciting Tom Guest outside him in the number 13 jumper. Speaking of exciting, it's the bearded wonder of Heston Gardner on the left wing, with Ian Ferguson getting the nod on the right, and Louis Evans lining up at fullback for the Guardians of the Crib as they look to finish their season in quite the flurry. Up against them will be the All Flakes, a sitting really contending for that number 1 spot, but a hiccup here at the end could be the last thing they want to happen. They're missing a man through injury as well. Mac Wrigley, another player in the back line, missing for another 9 days, so could potentially miss a quarter-final berth if they are required to play it. Their form going into this has been impressive as well. They haven't taken on any subscriber sides, but still a 21-0 win over the Scarlets in round 9 and a 31-21 win over Montpellier in the last round. Round 10 has them sitting pretty in second position. A similar record to the Guardians, an 8-win, 1 draw, 1 loss record, but bonus points has certainly kept them right in the hunt, and the defending champions are looking to do the job yet again for the second consecutive season. The team name for today looks very strong as well, and let's go through it. Starting off with the front row, Shady Streetwalker will start on the loose head side alongside Ben Bobbs and Nicholas Friedlander. Very consistent along that front row, and it is paying dividends for the side this season. Morgan Yates will get a nod alongside Benjamin Grayson. Those two, the second row and back row, have been very strong for the All Flakes this season. Max Parkhill on the blind side, tip top on the open, and Aka Commander, the big powerhouse, will be at number 8. The snippy little Jimmy Henderson will be at scrum half, and he'll this week partner Kerwin Seeley in the number 10 jumper. Mac Wrigley may be out, but Ike is still in this team, and he's starting at inside centre, and he'll be partnering Bob Jeffrey on his outside. The back 3 look dangerous. It is Corey Davidson on the left-hand side, Liam Symes-Wells on the right, and Christian Catley will be there in the number 15 jumper fullback for the All Flakes as they look to take top spot and put themselves in the best possible position heading into the playoffs. There will be no messing about here tonight. We are straight into the action with the All Flakes playing the black and white. The Guardians in the blue, white and red. And underway they go. Curran Seeley kicking off left-hand side high into the night sky and taken nicely from Afonso Gill for the Guardians of the Crib. Hunt plays scrum half, finds Liam Hacker, who gives a wide ball, and Kieran Jones had a lot of space, gets it straight out, quickly to Heston Gardner, who takes on the one-on-one tackle, and a good piece of work from Liam Symes-Wells, defensively shuts that down for Sore. He's a danger. They've got to look out for him at the base of the breakdown. He's going to be one to keep this game alive. As to the left side they go, and it is Tom Guess who fires down the short tracks. As the Guardians hit it up once again. Great ball! Hunt gets it on for Sore. Wants support on for Hacker. Gets it out. Gardner. Gardner going all the way. Gardner for the line. Support out this right. It's there. Kieran Jones. Try. Guardians hit first. What a piece of play. Short support. The big boys up front. And the Guardians of the Crib strike first. Lewis Gardner just about did too much. Hacker did brilliantly, but the support play through here. Gardner, exceptional, great pass out, and Kieran Jones, he is a thunderous man, and there was no stopping him that close to the line. Shades of a forward pass there, but referee not going that far back. Brilliant work, and the great chase too from Max Parkhill, not enough to stop the flow of the Guardians of the Crib. What a start by the Guardians, who are flowing on beautifully from the form we've seen for them last round against the Celtic Dragons. 7 minutes in, and a chance here for Louis Evans. Oh, what a kick too. Looked like it was fading to the left, but it comes back beautifully and slides between the uprights. Successful conversion from the fullback. And the Guardians of the Crib are up 7 points to 0. Against the All Flakes, who he gets to actually touch the ball, which is not a great start for them. Taken down nicely.
Release.
Oliver Bowers on hand that time to take the kick off. For sure, goes. Oh, he's gone short. He's gone short to Louis Evans, his fullback, who's knocked it on. An advantage now with the All Flakes on their side. Grayson, great ball wide. A little kicker behind by Liam Symes-Wells. Is easily claimed to the back of the counter-attack. Breaking through easily. Sand Stubbs down the left-hand side. The support's up there. Oh, it is. Oh, the great pass to Bowers. Bowers on his right. The defence shifts across. It's going to be another try. Surely, yes. And it's back-to-back for the Guardians of the Crib. Question marks over the attacking play of the All Flakes. How about this? Magnificent work from the Guardians of the Crib. I thought they just about did it too early. But the dummy inside from Lewis Gardner left Catley sprawling, and they could not contend with Sam Stubbs down the left. Great work by the inside centre. Oliver Bowers did brilliantly as well. Might have thought there that Tom Guess went too early, but Lewis Gardner all over that with an exceptional finish on the right-hand edge. Wow, the Guardians exploding out of the blocks here against the All Flakes. And I didn't think we'd quite have a matchup like this. The All Flakes, one of the better teams so far this season, as here's Louis Evans from the sideline, no problems at all. And the Guardians lead 14 points to 0 over the All Flakes. Back to halfway for Curran Seeley. He is not pleased, and his side are sharing those thoughts as we get underway again. And another good save this time from Isaac Fasore. The All Flakes contend for the breakdown, but Hunt has it, and he's gone back to Lewis Gardner, who hacks this one long, and the Gardeners are doing a good job of this at the moment as Christian Catley turns, Catley runs down the left-hand edge. He's got a little bit of support from Davidson, doesn't use it, that cost him. Corey Davidson was waiting, arms flailing in the air, wanting the ball, but Catley just couldn't feed him enough. And a lucky escape. Boy, oh boy, the kick returns tonight are just electric by these two sides. Hunt has thrown it to no one and it's gone straight over the top, but great dedication there. Daniel Fasore flying in, and now Isaac takes it back, and left side they attack once more, and Kieran Jones tries to power his way through the middle. Commanders turn it over, and they go away through Streetwalker. The All Flakes, great chance now to hit back. And you can tell me one thing, they need to do it fast, but they're going to lose the ball. That is a travesty, and Daniel Fasore has thumped this away down to Christian Catley, who's running it back. He pops it. Oh, Bob Jeffrey's there, and it's taken in a high tackle. And you've got to be careful. We've seen a couple of red cards in the last round. And now this is real decision time here. The 3 points is definitely the chance, but no. They're not going to be going for it. The All Flakes opting instead for the corner. Oh, they've not made it. Well taken by Hacker. And Sam Stubbs strikes it back in error by the All Flakes. Kerwin Seeley will not be happy with that. They needed to strike, and maybe they should have taken 3 as they attack. Kieran Jones once more. What a dummy! Kieran Jones through the middle. He'll have the wheels. Jones over the 22. Jones will score. What a sucker punch. What a blow. 3 tries on the trot. The Guardians are peaking right when it matters. The All Flakes being blown off the paddock without a trace at the moment, and one man leading the charge is Kieran Jones. He scores his own try, but he's had a hand in everything that the Guardians have done. Davidson was catching, but it was never going to be enough for the big man who threw the dummy that just sold Catley down the river. No chance from there. Kieran Jones goes, and he goes fast. He's big, and he is impossible to stop when he's on a rampage like that. This has been a dream start for the Guardians of the Crib. They could not have wished for a better opening 20 minutes than this. Louis Evans with his 3rd shot at goal. I lie, it's been an opening 30 minutes. Goodness me, time is flying by. But the Guardians are up 21 points to 0, and there could be nothing better for them than a bonus point victory over the All Flakes. And tell you what, the disappointment, the nightmares of round 1 have been very much killed and destroyed by this Guardians side after being absolutely thumped by the Flakers. They are fighting back. Stubbs to Hunt as they try and force their way back. Mike Hunt injury. Oh, this is huge. This is massive. Who's going to replace him? There's definite support on the bench, and it's going to be Allenson who comes on in the front row. Oh, that is massive to lose a player like their inspirational captain, Mike Hunt.
Crouch.
How long will he be out? How much will that affect the Guardians of the Crib this season? Oh, what a scrum! First hit, bulldozed! Here come the Guardians again, inside ball, finding the destructive Afonso Gill. They set it up again. Left side, it's a run from Lewis Gardner, who's hit hard, and a big tackle there by the All Flakes defence. Jones away to Allison, who turns it back to the right, and this time there's no way through there for Oliver Bowers. Could be a turnover. Oh, it is! A rare chance now! The All Flakes, they need to hit back. Streetwalker can't get the ball away. Good defence on him. He's a dangerous little runner. Kamana, there's room on the left. They want to use it. They do. Straight to Davidson. Here's room. And the 22, one to beat. Looks the fan. Gets past the tackle. There at the back of Louis Evans. There goes half time. Last chance saloon now for the All Flakes. Seeley trying to force his way through. Can't do it. 10 metres out. Henderson. Oh, big hit there on Jimmy Henderson. And that will give the All Flakes a real chance. Surely they've got to tap this and go. Zealey on the ball. He's going to kick it out. He's going to end the half. What is he thinking? What on earth is he thinking? The two teams head to the sheds, and it is the All Flakes with a chance of a lifetime to put some points on the board that go away with nothing. 21-0 at the break. Take a look at those stats. 82% of possession to 18. The All Flakes have had nothing, no chance at all to get in this game. The Guardians have shut them out. Of course, the injury to Mike Hunt, but have a look at those tackles at the bottom there. 10 by the Guardians, 25 by the All Flakes. Well, I said there's no messing about, and that is exactly what is going on here. It is Lewis Gardner back to halfway to get us back underway. And it's a little short kick-off, and nicely claimed there by Max Parkhill. And oh, what a penalty! Parkhill wrapped up and not releasing the ball. Very quick over it. I think was one of the Fasores. And this is killer at the moment from the Guardians. 21-0 up early in the second half. They opted for a shot at goal through the boots of Louis Evans. 40 metres out, hits it nicely. It's on the right hand upright. It's got the legs. It does. Oh, that is even a little bit more salt in the wound. 24-0 early in the second half. The Guardians extend their lead. Trouble for the All Flakes. They are being decimated by a rampaging Guardians of the Crib at the moment. Pops it up short and it's nicely taken once more. Got to be a turnover here. Surely it's a turnover, yes. Comes back for the All Flakes and Henderson pops it back as they switch it to left side. Yates does well. Turn it out to Bob Jeffrey who loses footing and is hammered. Big tackle from behind. Thumps Bob Jeffrey into touch. Well, if the All Flakes are going to do anything, it's got to be soon. And it's got to be rapid as well. They've got to do it 2 or 3 times. Allison throws in nicely. The 5-man line out. They pull it down. Martins does well. And then they fire it straight out to the left-hand side. Heston Gardner goes nicely, beautifully as well. Tom Guess gives it back to Heston Gardner who's breaking into the half. And here it is again. Kieran Jones is gone. Kieran Jones is out of here. It's a double for the big number 8 who is just ripping this game to pieces. The Guardians score their 4th. And this is a bonus point. Surely victory for the Guardians of the Crib. Well, we love a good comeback, but it's hard to see a way back now for the All Flakes. 4 tries and a penalty. It is goodbye and good night for the All Flakes, who will kiss goodbye to their chances of topping that table. Great interplay there between Tom Guest and Heston Gardner, and the support on the inside by that man, the dangerous, the unstoppable Kieran Jones, who puts in try number 4. It has been an emphatic display tonight by the Guardians of the Crib, who were looking like the weakest side as the season progressed through. They struggled against most AI sides, but now, when things really matter, they have upped the ante, they have upped the tempo, and without, who some may say, the talisman of Don Butler and the number 10 jumper, they have stood up and they have put in a display of a lifetime, and we still have half an hour to go. Taken nicely, beautifully by Martins. And look at how they go here. Great run from Luke to Normanville. And a slight possibility of a turnover is quickly squashed by the Guardians for sure. Great ball to Stubbs. Sam Stubbs is through again. Now we look for him. There he is. Kieran Jones can't get away this time. And again, slim possibilities of turnover. Quickly dashed as Bowers has shown no, it's an offside. It's advantage to the Guardians. And the All Flakes will turn it over. Well, we will stop. I thought it was a forward pass, but no, the call is offside. And that is against the All Flakes. Ike Wrigley put in a big tackle, but offside, straight penalty. You've got to take the 3 here, surely. And they will be. Louis Evans is having a pristine night. Not only of ball in hand, but also off the tee. He's been in great form. Here's another shot at goal, and it's too easy for this man. Another 3 points, 4 tries, 2 penalties. It is one-way traffic as the Guardians of the Crib are laying out some punishment of their own against the All Flakes. And to be fair, they did it to the Dragons as well. Beat them 21 points to 3. Tonight, however, 34-0. Against the All Flakes, who some were saying will be odds on to take this competition out for the 2nd consecutive year. Now who's your favourite? Now who's the team to beat? As Dr. Normanville's got a great pass away, and again it's Guest giving it away nicely on the right wing end. Ferguson, who's not had much to do, but has kept the All Flakes relatively quiet. Oh, big tackle. Well, that is a monster there. Cohen Seeley putting in a huge shoulder. And the last thing the All Flakes really need to do here is give away more territory. And it's back to Lewis Gardner, who will slap this downfield and, oh, just gets it out. It bounced. Ben Bob's had a go at it. If someone had been waiting on their sideline, it could have been All Flakes ball here. It'll be Allenson who will throw in inside the 22. A real chance now And they go way back as well. Nicely taken by Hacker. They fire it out to Stubbs. Big pass wide. Tom Guest. Out to Heston Gardner. It's another one. It's another one for the Guardians for the crib. Simple as you like. That is their 5th try. And the scoreline 39-0. And Akata Kamana is not happy at all. Simple play off the set piece. Fired straight through. Sam Stubbs out to Tom Guest. Heston Gardner through the hands. Width on the play. And that's another try in the left-hand corner. Too easy. Too much. Too easy. And you've got to give them credit here. The Guardians, by far, the better side tonight. Who's going to stop this team in the form of their lives? They seem unstoppable. They really seem unstoppable. Heston Gardner grabs another. He's had a very good end of season. And Louis Evans still with 15 minutes to play. I can't believe this match we've had here. 39-0 becomes 41-0. It's been action-packed, but it's all one way. All Flakes fans, look away. This is not your night. And Kerwin Seeley, he will be just hating this game at the moment. He's back to halfway with 13 to play. He's kicked it out in the full. Or has he? No, it's remarkably been saved by Liam Hacker, who thought maybe we should be a little bit gracious to these boys and gave them a chance now. Just outside the 22. Ben Bobs, a rare chance, a rare set piece. A rare opportunity now for the All Flakes to put something on the board, and they've lost the line out. Rodrigo Martin steals it in the back. And that sums up the night by the All Flakes. And they thunder upfield to the Guardians. Look at them go. Isaac Fisure to Tom Guest. Out wide and a run by Ian Ferguson. Gets them up to halfway. Fisure to Guest again. And now a break from Liam Hacker. He's got support. He goes to the right if he can find it. But it's a good tackle. Bob Jeffrey all over that one. And the turnover goes to the All Flakes. Disappointment still on the face of the Guardians though. I can just see it now. A rematch for our final between the Guardians and the Flakers. Hang on, hold the phone. There's a little bit of a chance here if the All Flakes can hang on to the ball. A little half break there from Mike Wrigley. Big dive pass, finding it out to Bob Jeffrey, who goes straight back to traffic. Liam Symes Wells, that's not the way to go, and they lose the ball. And that, again, sums up how the All Flakes have been tonight. Guardians get it back, and yes, revenge certainly on their mind against the Flakers who smashed them in round one. As they turn it back, left and right, breaking through the middle now. It's Oliver Bowers, looks right. Luke Normanville was there, but he couldn't find him. Late charge here from the All Flakes. They get the ball straight back to the breakdown. Here is Streetwalker, away to Corbin Seeley. Seeley down the right-hand edge. Seeley makes one, and Seeley's taken it to touch. They just can't catch a break tonight here. The All Flakes outplayed, outgunned, and not even in the frame at all. 41-0. Allenson will throw. The injury to Hunt. That's one you've got to look out for. Turnover. Oh, they've done something special, the All Flakes. They've turned the ball over. Would you believe it? They charge upfield, forcing the Guardians to get involved. And now it's there, pick and go for Freilander, and he's going to lose the ball. They need friends here, and Black Josies, they've lost it. They've just lost it. One phase, and Ian Ferguson hacks it into touch. That is it. Full time, all over, emphatic, dominant. And what a display by the Guardians of the Crib. Only one team came to play tonight, and that was the team on screen, the Guardians of the Crib, absolutely destroying the All Flakes in the final regular season outing. Disappointment aplenty through this side, who have been great all season long, but now suffer their second loss of the season. Let's quickly go through the scorers. Only one team did them. Kieran Jones, hat-trick. Yes, hat-trick for the number 8. And it was 2 tries, one for Lewis Gardner, one for Heston Gardner. Louis Evans perfect off the tee, 7 in total, 5 conversions and 2 penalty goals. On to the stats, and well, it didn't change, did it? 82% to 18. The All Flakes just couldn't hold on to the ball, and they have been punished big time. 10 line breaks to 6. Just disappointment. If you read that right-hand column, it's all bad news. The Guardians dominant, and they took every chance they had. Well, I remember back in round number 1, the Flakers played the Guardians, and that was a thrashing. That was a big-time thrashing by the Flakers. And I remember thinking to myself, this Guardians team is going to struggle. It's going to be a long season, especially when they don't play their last 2 subscriber clashes till right to the end. They're going to have to fight their way back, and then their season is going to be determined by these last 2 rounds. They've come out of the blocks. I tell you what, this Guardians team has transformed. Woeful throughout the first half, increasingly averagely better throughout the second, but then the end, they have just transformed to world beaters, and they look like the team to beat right now as we head into the playoffs with just 1 game to go. Now, if you've followed the last few matches as well, you'll know that that 6th position is one that is going to be heavily competed for. We've seen a big match after the last round's game, but today was the decider. If Leinster won, they would take it. And I tell you what, have a look at that result there. 26-25. The Exeter Chiefs did what they could to keep Leinster out, but they were unable to get the job done. So let's have a look as we see the Corn Flakers have an injury. Who's out? Oh, it is Cannon Nicholson, isn't it? 98 days. Yeah, that's right. His season's done. Let's have a look at the table now. Well, the Dragons, man, I tell you what. They were looking at this match and they said, oh, the All Flakes have 1 game to play. We've only got a 1-point lead. Surely we could hope to finish second. And then if the Flakers win their last game, the Dragons will be down to 3rd. As we look at it right now, the Flakers have to win. And they will just pip the Dragons for top spot. The All Flakes, my goodness me, they only have themselves to blame. They are lucky they are not down to 3rd because the Guardians just wrecked them. And I mean, you have a look at that difference there on the leaderboard. The Guardians now, unbelievably, are the only team with 9 wins. Yes, granted, the Flakers still have to play and they've had 2 draws. They haven't lost yet. Who's your favourite? It's absurd to look at this and say, the Guardians and the Flakers are my favourites. They are my favourites to get this job done. Now, when they will meet will be the big thing. If the Flakers, of course, do the job against Montpellier, they will go top. And then that will see them out of the quarterfinals as such, where 3 to 6 play each other. But then when they meet after that is anyone's guess, because it will determine how those 2 results go. But boy, what a finish to the season. I didn't see this coming. The Guardians, who have the worst points differential, the worst bonus point takings, yet they look to be the team to beat. And of course, the final matches as well. Leinster secure that 6th spot over Castres by a single point. And really put the pressure on Leinster, on Montpellier, I should say, in number 5. But of course, they won't have that chance to overtake them. Flakers, Montpellier, 4v5. If you back the Flakers to win there, they will go top of the table. And that is, of course, the final game of the season. Scarlets play Saracens. I mean, that's 10th versus 12th. So who really cares what happens there? But we have one hell of a game still to play here. The Flakers could take top spot. And we will have, if they take 4 points, we'll have a 42, 41, 40, 40. That'll be our top 4. And I mean, you don't get closer than that. 1st to 4th, separated by 2 points. That is insane. Absolutely insane. That is the final game of the regular season. I'll be back very soon for that because we are going to get straight to the action for the playoffs. I can't wait to get those games underway when the real season starts. But how about that, Guardians fans? Tell me what you think about your team's performance today. And All Flakes fans, goodness me, you're in a world of trouble. You are in a world of trouble because you're the only team to have lost 2 games out of the subscriber side. So, the defending champions, although they may finish 3rd, still have a lot of work to do. It's likely that we will see the All Flakes and the Guardians in the playoffs, the quarterfinal playoffs as well. So, a lot to go through. We'll really recap the season after the Flakers versus Montpellier game. But boy, oh boy, that was quite a surprise. Guardians getting the job done, a thumping win against the All Flakes, and the season is almost done. I'll see you for the final match of the regular season, the Flakers versus Montpellier. Until then, thanks for watching, and of course, don't forget to take care.